Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach, and I want to welcome you to Shortcuts for Your Soul, which is a daily program where we take you on a journey for understanding different ways you can move your awareness into a higher state of consciousness instead of being locked into the body-mind mechanism you've been stuck in for most of your life. And we're going to wait a few minutes for people to come live. And again, for those of you that are new coming, welcome. I hope you're going to enjoy this show because today's going to be really, really amazing. We're going to be dealing with the subject of addiction. And I have the joy and pleasure of having Lord Metatron with me again today. He was with us yesterday when he was talking about the concept of coherence. And when he mentioned last night he would be coming back through me today to discuss the idea of addiction and why it related to coherence. And I think you're going to find it very fascinating as we get into this. I want to say again, thank you to my Patreon supporters. We had our first live private Patreon event last night on my Patreon page. And it was amazing. The things that are going to evolve for all of us as a species, as individuals, this is a really amazing time. So I want to thank all my patrons for their support and for those of them that made it to the live event last night. And those of you who want to support this work, you can do so through my Patreon account. You can also do so through the super chats or super stickers, which is an option you have in the chat box as well. I also want to make, let's see what else. That as a Patreon supporter, you'll get to be able to ask one question a month. You'll also be able to get entered into a monthly draw we now started last month of giving a free reading with me away at the end of each month. And we have our first winner, Vanessa Rodriguez, who won the reading from last month. And we're looking forward to doing that reading for her next week sometime. Also, yes, dear, hi. So the little one is wanting some attention. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Bo. Oh, you're very welcome, Bo. I hope you enjoyed it. It was pretty amazing how this stuff just happens. When you get aligned to your higher frequencies of awareness, and I stress higher frequencies of awareness, your body, your mind, your five physical senses only allow you to perceive this physical world. Your awareness, however, your awareness, the you that is listening to these words right now, hearing the vibration of these words, your awareness can be expanded to become aware of dimensions of consciousness and energy that are beyond what your senses can normally perceive. And you can actually retrain your senses to perceive some of those other levels. But today's about addiction and overcoming addiction and what addiction really is and where the greatest addiction issue is on the planet today. And when Metatron came in last night and said, this really has to be handled, this concept of addiction. So we're going to go into that in a few more moments. I'm hoping, hi, Borilla. Hi, Drusilla. Hi, Allison. Hi, Vanessa. Hi, Betsy. Lori, Lysandra, wonderful. Good to have you all showing up here. It's addiction. So when Metatron said he wanted to help people to understand what addiction is, why we have this issue as on such a massive scale globally, and why, and that addiction does not necessitate being addicted to a substance. It does not necessitate being addicted to alcohol or drugs from out there. Your body, he said, your body is capable of producing an unlimited amount of chemicals based upon the emotional state or ideas you formulate in your mind that would stimulate changes in your chemistry. And I found that very fascinating, that we actually create different chemical conditions in our body by what we think, by what we feel, by what we focus on, and by what we do. We can change our biochemistry. Like if your chemistry is really low on energy, if you start jumping up and down and moving, you'll shift the chemical energy of the body. You'll literally shift the body's consciousness into a new chemistry. One of the things Metatron is saying, the greatest addiction on the planet facing humanity that's greater than all the drug issues, all the alcohol, the one addiction that's greater and most responsible for all other addictions is the vibration of fear. He says, fear is the greatest addiction on the planet today. And it is what the ascension movement is to resolve. It's being brought forth as an energy to resolve our attachment to the addiction of fear. Now, fear and all of its children, like anger or guilt or shame or sadness, or all of the children of fear, produce very specific biochemical changes in your body. One of the key chemicals in an intense state of fear, it can also be created in an intense state of excitement, but we're only going to focus on the concept of what fear does. Fear can often generate huge amounts of adrenaline in the body. And adrenaline is more potent than methamphetamine. When you get a hit of adrenaline, you can go from being like this to being like hyperactive. Adrenaline's the stuff that animals pump into their system when they're being attacked or going to be consumed by another animal. There's a massive kick of adrenaline in the body, and the animal flees its potential threat. Well, Metatron says humans are a little bit different than animals. We can actually stimulate an adrenaline rush without even lifting a finger. He said, you simply have to put your attention on an idea or a memory that would stimulate a fearful state in your body, and your body will react as if that event is in real time. And this blows my mind. Think about this, that the fear that we go in creates an adrenaline rush. And he said when that state is repeated enough times, your body energetically gets literally addicted to the adrenaline that it produces, that the body produces. So your body will then look for, or your mind will look for, things to stimulate that state of fear to get that hit of adrenaline, so the body's need for that high is met. Yes, he says also caffeine is another way in which people give themselves an adrenaline rush, but it's based on the chemical you call caffeine. But the effects are very similar. So this is one of the reasons why you want to get rid of caffeine, is because it artificially stimulates your system. Now, okay, so he's saying once you've identified that your mind is generating fear without your knowing, he said most of you don't even know that your mind is generating fear. You think you're excited, and oftentimes your energy is low, so you watch a TV show or you watch something to generate from out there. You'll get something out there to generate your internal adrenaline rush, or the chemistry that brings you into that heightened state of chemical excitation. Okay, he's saying now on the heels of yesterday, if you understood what we said yesterday about understanding that coherence maintains a state of what's called, like mental and physical coherence maintains a state of homeostasis, which is a state of physical balance where the system's in balance. When the system's not in balance, it's out of homeostasis, and whether it's depression or excitation, it's out of balance. So today, understanding this state of addiction and fear, that fear is the greatest addiction. I love that. Fear is the greatest addiction facing humanity today. And there are lots of things that are stimulating your fear. And that fear creates adrenaline and other conditions and chemicals in the body that affect it adversely. The goal in being able to master your mind and body is to ultimately relieve yourself of being guided by fear and by no longer being manipulated by the world around you, but understanding that within you is the capacity to generate whatever state that you require at any time to alter the conditions of your environment and your physical body. He's saying when the body can't produce, he's saying when your body can't produce enough adrenaline to get higher, that's when the body will often move towards addiction towards other substances. When it can't get that intense rush of adrenaline, it doesn't take it higher because the body wants more. The body's a pleasure pain-based mechanism, so it wants more pleasure, right? Even if it's the rush of adrenaline, that excitement, that energy, that boost, it's still exciting to the body to experience that. And when it gets to a certain level, the effects of the adrenaline, like any other drug or alcohol, you have to have more and more to bring it up. So when the body can't produce enough, then the body will look for those things instinctually outside. So it might come across methamphetamine, or it might come across alcohol. It'll find some other substance, caffeine, highly processed foods, lots of sugars, that will give the body a chemical rush that is greater than what it had before. And then you've got the cycle, what they call the cycle of addiction, where the body's then conditioned to need more to experience more, to need more to experience better. And when I had a caffeine addiction, that was the case. I'd have to have more caffeine to keep my energy up higher. Instead of 1 cup a day, there'd be 3 cups a day or 5 cups a day. Some people have 10 cups a day. And it's all based on trying to keep the energy level of the body high enough so that it can function. But the reverse needs to happen. You actually need to get rid of the addictive substance. You need to dial down the fear, because you can actually increase your energy tenfold more by moving into a state of love. A state of love will have no harmful negative side effects on your body, but it will keep your energy very, very high, and it'll keep you very, very clear. But it'll keep the body in a homeostatic and excited state. And I find that fascinating. Because when I asked myself, well, why wouldn't an elevated state of love also become a chemical addiction? Because the chemistry of love is not a chemical in your body. It's a vibration of your awareness, whereas fear is a vibration of your body. It's based in the fight or flight mechanism of your body, whereas love is not. Love is not based in the fight or flight mechanism. It is not of your body. Love is of your soul. It's that vibration that is you. It's that vibration that is all of humanity in its most fundamental state of being awareness, of being conscious. In that state of love, you transcend the need for addictive substances, and you move into the process of creating and giving from that perspective. So understanding how to identify the difference between when fear is governing your awareness, when you're identifying with fear, identifying with the body exclusively as yourself, and then identifying that you are not the body, that you can alter it. And he's saying, we know that a lot of you have struggled with some of the addictions. Once you understand the mechanism, there are things that you'll actually need to do practically to safely navigate your body into a state that will be more conducive to the expressions of love through you as you understand it. And I find that fascinating, to be more conducive to states of love in a way that's practical. Starting off small, start dialing down the substances, because what happens once the chemistry of fear is not able to be stimulated from internal processes, and you find yourself going out to sugar, you find yourself going out to caffeine, or you find yourself going out to MSG and processed fast foods that give your body that artificial stimulation. Start dialing those back. Start to replace those things with higher vibrational things that put the body into a naturally organic state, like drinking fresh, clean, good water. Distilled water is preferably remineralized, but drinking good, clean water on a regular basis, right? Because with caffeine, the body automatically actually gets more dehydrated. It gets the hit of the caffeine, but it gets more dehydrated. So your body wants more caffeine. And now the caffeine is there to maintain the energy. And now the water levels of the body goes down. So the body's stress levels increase. So it wants to keep the energy higher. And the caffeine creates this cycle of dehydration and addiction. Caffeine is one of the largest addictions on the planet. And it's acceptable to everybody. Addiction, overcoming our addictions. First, we have to overcome our addiction to fear as a species. And a prevalent addiction, you just turn on 95% of the TV stations or radio stations you turn on are going to be formed in fear. Most of the music and entertainment industry, information being bombarded is about sadness and loss and pain, and it's stimulating fear. We've got an addiction to fear. And in order to feed that addiction, what have we done as a species? Well, we create war to bring our chemical rush up as a collective, right? Because we're collectively doing this as well as individually. So when we can't get enough of a hit collectively from the way we're doing things economically or manipulatively, then we'll create things like war to create a massive surge of energy, which is a collective adrenaline rush, right? So there are the microcosm and the macrocosm are very similar. So what happens on the scale of the individual is happening on the scale of the collective of humanity. Yes, he's saying it's important you understand that we are here to make changes in the collective unconsciousness of the human condition and awareness, changes in the collective unconsciousness. But that has to be done twofold. It has to be chosen. You must choose to change that collective unconsciousness within yourself first, to be willing to restore yourself to love, to restore your body to that vibration, to cease being seduced by the need for other things outside of your form in order to make yourself feel better. when you're truly functioning from a platform of love, he says, you will always know what is right for you to do and be. You will always know what is right for you to eat or not eat. You will know because you will feel when your body suffers. Your body does not like to be in fear. In fact, it's very unhealthy for it to be in fear. But you have to train your body to be subjective to you so that it only does what you want it to do when you want it to do it. And again, that's a training process. But let's take some questions on addiction and this concept, because it's really important that we understand we have an addiction as a species to fear, because fear is an energy. It creates adrenaline. It creates excitation. It prepares us for fight or flight. And there's an addictive element to that type of energy that we need to overcome as a species. And we can only do that through love. I'm going to scroll back up because, hi, Prem. Oh, yes, I want to say thank you, Prem, for that notification about the information regarding Dolores Cannon. You sent me the picture of that book, The Essenes by Dolores Cannon was the book we mentioned the other day. And it's amazing what's happening on this planet. There's just so much happening. Okay, I'm going to scroll up here. Wow, lots of questions today. Okay, here we go. Woo! Energy is so high. Have you guys been feeling that energy coming from your source? Can you feel that inside where it's like, for me, it's a vibration that comes in through here and up through the base of my spine. It's like this energy is coming in, hits in my heart, and just spills out all around me. And then, of course, when Metatron or these other beings come with me, it amplifies that when two or more gather, right? Then the energy cubes and multiplies very rapidly. Hello, Allison from South Africa. Wonderful to have South Africa here today. Hi, Betsy, Atlanta, Georgia. Love it. Hi, Lori. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was great to have you on the Patreon first live last night. That was a lot of fun. Hi, Naveed. Yes, molecules of emotion. Yes, this is exactly your emotions alter energy and matter. Emotions alter energy and matter. You know, when we started the 1 billion strong movement 7 months ago, and John said, you have to understand that emotion organizes time, space, and matter. And you need to get enough people realigned to a vibration of love to rebalance the global electric circuit, which has been going out of whack, especially over the last 130 years. There's been a massive shift in the way the poles were moving. And this is because, John told me, is that this shift is happening because the intensity of fear that's been growing over the last 100 or so years is causing this imbalance. So we said, you start this 1 billion strong group, begin to get everybody meditating at specific times each day, build that energy up, and it'll start to rebalance the global electric circuit, because emotion organizes matter. Emotion organizes matter. And we watched this happen. We actually watched over the first couple of months that the actual movement of the magnetic poles went from 34 miles an hour down to 24 miles an hour. So it actually started to slow the movement down. We've watched the ozone hole in the South Pole close up. And there are scientific reasons that they can clearly show that the relationship in energy between the sun and the earth changes, and things on earth changes. But we have an electrical relationship with the sun, with the earth, with your body, and with everything else. So the quality of our electrical relationship with ourselves and with the world around us alters the electrical relationship with all other things, including the sun. I have no idea why they just had me say all that, but it's important to understand that we alter emotion. We create chemistry with emotion. We create chemistry with thought. With your thoughts, you can change the chemistry of your body. You know, what a lot of people have difficulty controlling their thoughts because they think they are their thoughts. So they have a thought from the TV that you can't trust anybody because the shows on TV are about you can't trust them. They're going to stab you in the back. But then you've got to love them a day later because they stabbed you. So it's all this uncertainty being put in human collective unconsciousness. It makes it very hard for people to inductively change their own minds because they're being manipulated by external processes. And you want to become internally generated so that you're actually generating an emotional state that's conducive for the body's health and for the space and the people around you, because how you feel affects the people around you. We all know that. Any parent knows how their feeling affects their children, how their children's feeling affects them. So when you learn how to create a stable electrical field, or a stable emotional field is really what it is, when you can create a stable, a homeostatic static emotion like love, it will organize things to match it. Just as a state of fear will organize things to match it. All behavior comes from emotions. So let's scroll down, because the energy is so high for me today, because this subject of addiction is very close to me. I went through addiction. I went through alcoholism and drug addiction when I was younger, so I understand the importance and the truth of what he's been telling me since last night about addiction, that we must learn to deliberately and intentionally alter and regulate our emotional energy, our thoughts, in order to properly articulate the way we express energy into matter, time, and space. Because your emotion translates into behavior. Behavior translates into actions. Actions cause effects in the material realm. So learning how to regulate your thoughts and your emotional field is very important. And addiction, which is basically thinking that something outside of your own awareness dictates and determines how you have to think and feel, is ultimately the fundamental cornerstone under which most people are stuck. They're wearing that as a yoke around their neck, that something out there is going to give them fulfillment. Something out there is going to give you joy. Something out there is going to make you suffer. And that belief is so foreign to who you truly are. The idea that something out there is where your life and your joy comes from is so far from who you truly are. You are connected to life directly. And when you realize that power, that force is flowing through you right now, that you can access it and move into, you can choose to align yourself to a thought, a vibration of love, and practice that until you can do it consistently, you'll begin to reorganize your body. You'll begin to reorganize the world around you. And this is all stuff we all know for a long time. So I'm going to scroll down here and keep going. Wow, lots of questions, guys. Thank you so much. Yes, Tanya, caffeine, remember, caffeine is the single largest addictive substance available to everybody, even your children. Teenagers have a coffee, get up and go. Now once you get addicted to getting your energy from outside of your awareness, now you're dependent on the outside world to define your reality for you. And if you look at what's going on in the world today, you don't want that defining you. You want to be defining it. We want to become the manifestors of the conditions, and we are anyway. The difference is, are we going to be conscious about it or not? Caffeine is a beautiful thing to get rid of and start replacing it with things like water, fresh fruit. And your body's not going to want it because your body wants that chemical high. There's no difference between being addicted to alcohol and being addicted to the chemistry of fear in your body. The process of addiction is identical, whether it's an internal process or an external process. What seems to be different is the amount of effort required for letting go of one or the other. Because our bodies tell us that, well, what I'm experiencing and feeling is caused by out there. So therefore, out there is responsible for the way I'm feeling. And so you have to change. We have to force things out there to change, to try and change what we're feeling. And it's got to be the reverse. We change what we feel in here to cause changes in our behavior. Yes. Yes. So he's saying once you start realizing that the urge you have for caffeine, or the urge you have for that chocolate bar, or the urge you have for that processed fast food, there's that's simply, in the last analysis, or the alcohol, yes, that's simply your body's needing a chemical condition in order for it to feel normal. But then it has to keep having that chemical condition in order to feel normal. And then it has to have more of that chemical condition to feel normal. And then it has to have more to feel normal. But in reality, when you learn things like meditation, which is what Metatron spoke about yesterday, learning to meditate is essential. Learning to make certain your mind and your body are in the state you want them to be by choice, by what you focus on, by what you say, by what you do. It's important. Once you understand, once you start to control your physical environment, and this one first, the body, the one that you're living in, when you learn to control that environment first, then you'll start to see that you actually make changes in the world around you. Some of them will be pretty magical and wondrous and mystical. Because when you change your energy, the world around you has to change. No choice. Addiction. We want to get rid of our addiction to fear as a collective species. Okay, so let's see here. No, caffeine. Again, the old shaman in South America actually used caffeine as a stimulant to moving into an altered state of consciousness to tap into different information to bring forth to the tribes to help allow them to survive. As most drugs were culturally used for thousands and thousands of years in many cultures as a means of where the shaman of particular groups or the leader of a particular group would ingest a chemical to get inspiration beyond what his normal senses could allow him to perceive. But they were never abused. There were certain individuals in the society that utilized those things specifically for the good of the whole, not as something just to get a sensation of feeling buzzed, right? They didn't use it that way. Wow. Let's see, Lori, interesting tidbit. Thanks, Bo. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to scroll down here. Jay, hi, Jay. Hi, Michael. Hi, Reflection. Hi, Bogmilla. Oh, wonderful. Thank you for that $21 donation. I really appreciate that. Any messages for me from my higher self, spirit, guides, Master Jesus? Please, thank you. It's funny, Metatron's laughing right now, but are you understanding what I'm saying to you? That you must get control of your internal environment, that you must learn to assert your will back over your temple. You must clean your house and put it in order so that the rest of your home will become in order. I think she's asking for something specific, more specific to her. He's saying that is very specific to you. He says, you know those things in your heart that you must put in order in your house. I don't know why, but he's showing me salt and water. Something about salt and water, Bogmilla. Something about salt and water. Combining those two for your body. Something about your body, salt and water. Again, you might want to look into what salt and water. I mean, I remineralize my distilled water with Celtic sea salt to keep the trace minerals in my body. But he's saying salt and water, and he's showing them very distinctly as two separate things. He's not showing them mixed. So I don't know, maybe you're having too much salt. I don't know what he's saying by that, but it's a lot of salt that he's showing me and very little water. So you might have a salt, again, I can only give you my personal interpretation of what he's saying, but salt, something about salt and water that you need to correct. Either it might be in your body, the way what you're consuming, I don't know. I try not to assign my own personal meanings to the information they're offering to you, because it's for you to interpret, receive the message in the way that you need to, not for me to give you the message the way I think you should hear it. You'll hear it the way you need to. Thank you for that. I really, really appreciate that. Wow. Thank you so much. Prim, hello, Michael and team. Hi. Salt. He's saying, he's telling me to say it to you again, Bogmilla. Salt and water. And the salt is on the right hand. He's showing me on the right hand, the water's on the left. So I'm not sure. Please let me know what that means to you, how you understand that. I'd be really interested to hear that because he's never shown me anything like that before. Watch Tactical Redneck on YouTube. Start to run now. The Lord has returned. Hi, Michael. Well, the Lord is here and now within you. He is here within us all. It is within us all. Every one of us. That which beats your heart. Tanya, distilled water. I use that for my air purifier. You can also drink distilled water, but remineralize it. Please remineralize it. I think I missed a question up here. Hi, Tina saying, hi, I meditated 30 minutes right before this live. I'm going to try and maintain that still mind so I can watch and listen to Michael and the guidance from Spirit without analyzing interpretation. That's a really great idea. He's saying good for you. He's saying good for you because when you start learning directly from vibration, you're learning directly from Spirit. You're now tuning into that which is within you, and within you is all truth. Within you is all truth. You can feel what is true and what is false. He says, very good for you to do this. Very good for you to just listen to the vibration and feel the truth so you know what to receive and what not to receive. Right? Really cool. Scroll down here a little bit further. Yes, thank you so much, Bogmilla. I really appreciate that. Bo, I was compelled to give up caffeine after starting Williams mediumship classes, and I'm surprised to find how much calmer I am. I had a headache at first. Yeah, for those of you that are choosing to give up caffeine and the addiction to that high, there's a 72-hour window during which you will experience increased headaches. And that increased headache is the result of an awareness of intense dehydration. So you want to make certain when you stop caffeine that you uptake your water. Try and double your water intake when you move off caffeine. The headache won't last much more than 10 to 12 hours. And if you're putting the water back in, it'll balance the hydration in the body. The body will start to correct itself. It takes about a week for your body to start remembering how to process water properly again after, for some of you, for years of drinking caffeine. Your body has to be retaught how to assimilate water because it's gotten used to drinking the caffeine and getting the chemical rush. Now you're just giving it water without that chemical rush. And so meditation will really prove useful too, getting your mind and body calm and quiet. You really want to learn to do that. This has been very exciting. Addiction. And what do you, yeah, he's saying it's so easy. If you understood how easy and simple it is to release your attachment to these feelings and restore yourself to that which you are, which is love, you would be smiling all the time. Yes, it's just the habits and the conditioning you've given to your body. You've trained your body to suffer, so it's used to suffering. And now you have to train it to not suffer. It can be very confusing at first to your body to think that it doesn't have to suffer anymore, that you don't have to pour alcohol into it and hurt it anymore, that it doesn't have to suffer that pain. It got used to it, and now you're going to take away its suffering. What a wonderful thing to do. That's beautiful. Let's see here. Manoj is asking, please ask the angels, how can I become a better father to both my daughters? Anything that I need to be aware of? Anything that I need to change? He's saying it's not so much about what you need to change. It is what you must choose to become within you to align yourself in thought, in word, and in feeling to that vibration of love. Let no word or action come forth from you unless you know in your heart that it comes from love. And if you do this consistently, the love that you see and know exists in your relationships to these dear ones will flourish and expand quite rapidly. But it will expand from a place of the authenticity of who you are and who your children know they are. For your children are far more connected to the awareness of being that vibration of love that is what we all are, but your willingness to deliberately connect to it in the present moment, in every word and every thought, to ask yourself, am I being this vibration of love? Does this feel true to love? As you align yourself to that energy, your children will align themselves very quickly to it as well. Children are very great barometers for all parents to understand if you are in alignment with love or are you in alignment with fear. Cool. Thank you so much. It's a great question. Really appreciate that. Wow. Hi, Prem. I am envisioning giving up my beloved morning breakfast coffee since a while, but replacing with what? That's a great question, Prem. As I think it was just answered a few moments ago about water. Increase your water intake. And put, because the body, natural sugars, because I don't know if you have sugar with your coffee or not, but natural sugars to replace the sugars from the caffeine, because people usually heap sugar into their coffee on top of the caffeine. Like the caffeine's not enough to fulfill the addiction, so you add sugar to bring the energy up higher, right? And some people add a little bit more, and then they start doing more and drinking more coffee, more sugar. So yeah, he's saying get natural sugars. Yes, apples or oranges, natural sugars with your water. When you start substituting the water for the caffeine, take like an orange or an apple, something that gives your body natural sugars that it can spontaneously and gently move away from the dependency on the caffeine, right? And remember, the caffeine has its root in fear. Fear generates very specific changes in chemistry, and we've all experienced fear in different degrees. But our fear tells us, when we experience the chemical adrenaline of fear, when we experience that vibration of fear, the body perceives there must be an enemy out there. And if there's an enemy out there, it'll watch for it. It'll watch for that enemy. And the other thing it'll do is it'll then base what do I need to change around me to make me feel not fearful. And so it might drink something that makes it feel less fearful. Like people, when they have a couple of drinks, they start to feel relaxed and easy, right? They artificially reduce their awareness of a fear. But what alcohol actually does is it disconnects you electrically from your body, so you're not aware of the fear anymore. That's what alcohol does. It disconnects you electrically from your body, so you're not aware of the emotional body the same way because you're disconnected electrically from it. Fascinating. Love that. Hi, Yvette. Welcome from Miami. I just heard you say emotions alter energy and matter. Working on not allowing my negative emotions to hijack me. Do you have any suggestions? I'm presuming that's the word that came out. Do you have any suggestions for her? Again, he's saying, learning to still this body. Please understand, your body is your instrument. It is your instrument the same way as a musical instrument. You can play it any way you wish to, but you must learn to play it, and you must learn to play it well and play it properly. We suggest to you many times to meditate, to learn to breathe, to relax your body, to train your body, to be in tune to your will, not you in tune to its will, because its will is fight or flight, and your will is love. And which would you rather have running your life? Your fight or your flight or your love? You must choose. But you must understand that this temple in which you live is an instrument for your usage. You are not meant to be governed by its senses. It is meant to be governed by your sense of love, your sense of dignity, your sense of compassion, your sense of excitement and playfulness. You must train the temple to be pleasing to you. Cool. Great question. Thanks, Yvette. How can we help our loved ones who are suffering from addiction subconsciously? I have been given wisdom and love, yet it's still subconscious to them. Yeah, this is a good question. Are you responsible? I mean, Master Jesus tells me repeatedly, the way you are your brother's keeper. Because I asked him that question myself. I said, Master, what is my responsibility? I see my brother suffering, my sister suffering, my fellow humans suffering. What am I to do about that? He says, first bring your house in order and bring what service you have in your house when it is in order. For what you will say and what you will do will be significantly different than what you would say or do prior to the cleaning of your temple. I'm going to paraphrase that, okay? I'm going to paraphrase that. So basically, get your body and your mind into a state of energy that for you represents a vibration or frequency of love. Now remember, once you're in a certain emotional state, your body radiates that energy, right? Your body radiates that energy out. Just like the sound wave that's coming out of this physical body right now, this sound wave is radiating out as a wave, a directionalized wave from my mouth. But when you are feeling an emotion, that is not a single direction. An emotional energy goes out in concentric spheres from your body. So get yourself aligned to a vibration. I'm sweating like crazy now. It happens when Master Jesus comes in like that. Getting yourself to that place where you are in a state of love and grace, and you remain in that state, and you amplify that state, and you build it up, and you let that energy radiate out. Anybody around you will begin to feel that. Even if they're not aware they're feeling it, it's kind of like you're in the restaurant with a friend, and there's music playing in the background. You're not even aware of it, but suddenly you find yourself tapping your hand. You're suddenly singing the words to the song. I'm singing that. Love is like that too. When you keep putting it out, people might not necessarily hear it consciously. You don't have to do anything overtly. Just put it out as an energy and watch what happens around you. Like I said many times, the water in this glass, when I put it in the freezer, the water has to do nothing. The glass has to do nothing. It just have to sit there. And the energy of the freezing mechanism changes what's within the glass. Well, your love as a vibration, your joy as a vibration, your peace as a vibration works the exact same way on time, space, and matter. So that when you're radiating that out and you're deliberately doing that, you're sending out that wave. And you don't have to do anything overtly to anybody. That energy will begin to cause that effect. And you can watch it, go into a coffee shop and do this. Sit there and take an assessment of the place and then move into a state of joy in your coffee shop or your restaurant or wherever there's a public place. And move into a state of joy or love and watch what changes around you in the few minutes you do that. It's very fascinating. When you begin to understand that emotion is what is organizing matter, time, and space. Emotion organizes time, space, and matter, right? And emotion is pure energy. Emotion is the fourth state of energy. Solid, liquid, glass. Solid, liquid, gas, plasma. Emotion is the fifth state of energy. Emotion directs all other forms below it. That's why we emphasize the importance of humanity collectively moving to a state of love to rebalance the global electric circuit. And we got a great opportunity here. There's less meat being consumed, less animals being tortured, less environmental damage being done. There's a huge repair process in the consciousness of the planet as an effect of the changes in our actions and our behavior. So work on that energy, like really work on energy. Hold the image of people that you want to communicate love to. Don't overtly try and change them. Just be in that state around them. Be in that energy around them. When your field overlaps with theirs, it will transmit over. You know, it's like we already know that if we take two glasses, one's frozen solid and one's warm, those things, if they're put close enough together, will have an influence on each other. And your electrical field does the same thing. Your emotional field generates an electrical current. The electrical current produces an electrical field around the body. Sorry. Yeah, I know. When you have these higher vibrational beings come through, it's really exciting, you know, and you can learn to connect your guides and your angels. Like, learn to do this so that you'll never be alone a day in your life, ever. We never are anyway, but knowing that, getting yourself to the awareness that that's the case is incredibly liberating. So where are we here? And you lose track of time. When you're in love, you lose track of time. You start to actually enjoy things. I found that peach decaf. Oh yes, you can use caffeine substitute. Chicory is a good caffeine substitute. Magical Buddha. I drank 3 large lattes today, and my coffee habit has been more increasing since. I started to be clear-minded and directed to actually accomplish things in my life. Yeah, like I said, the body perceives that its needs are always met from the outside, and from a practical standpoint, in most respects, your body needs water. Your body needs food. Your body needs air. It needs certain fundamental things. Its survival as a physical mechanism mostly depends on that. There are beings on this planet that can go without food for months or years. There are beings that can live off the sun. There are beings that can live just breathing air. So reality is wholly dependent on a factor thing, but your body fundamentally believes its needs are met from the environment. It doesn't realize that you can go inside it and alter. You can go inside and alter the energy in your body and change an organ, or alter cell growth or cell regeneration. You can alter specific things energetically when you have enough awareness and knowledge and can become sensitive enough to the energy that you can actually feel it doing that. It's easy with your hand. You can tell the energy in your hand open and close, open and close. And all that energy does that in relationship to the idea. And it'll continue to do that until I tell it to stop, right? Because I'm giving it a standing order. So you can alter matter with emotional energy. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hi, Reflection. Hi, Gina. Good to have you here. And Naveed is asking, hey, William, can you please ask Aphrodite what I did wrongly during the ritual last night, and what must I do for a full manifestation? You need to stop trying to, she says you have to get this going. You have to get, you're still trying to get it outside of yourself, she's saying. You keep trying to get it from me. You have to learn to be with me. Stop trying to get it from me. Learn to be that which you are with me. You must stop this seeking the way you are seeking, for it is the attempt to acquire your sense of well-being outside of yourself, and I could not provide you with your sense of well-being. That is your responsibility, as it is for all of you to create your own sense of well-being. Many of you have been misled by the world to think that the world is responsible for your well-being, but this is not true either. You are responsible for your well-being, and we have created these things with this one here to offer you the information and the truth that you can sift through to decide what is appropriate for you to realign your awareness to that which you came here to intend. Cool. I like that. Tanya, it's funny how you laugh when they, yeah, it is. It's, well, like I said, it's like, have you ever seen those Joy buzzers. You just have these little gags you put in the middle of your hand, and you go to shake the person's hand and it goes zzz. Well, whenever they come in and they say certain things and there's certain vibration, certain energy to what they're saying, it literally is joy. It's just like getting a shot of joy. And he's laughing at me. He said, and no, I'm not going to get addicted to joy, although it's much better to be addicted to joy than it is to be addicted to fear. Okay. Yes. Tanya, 7 years this week since my sister's passing. My mom is still distraught and never has moved on and accepted anything from her that she wants to tell mom. Just a second here. Just that it's not, she says, mom does not understand that I'm not dead. She was so attached to me, to my physical presence. And in her attachment to my physical presence, when it left, she thought I was gone from existence. But I am not gone. And she has felt me many times, but she still thinks that I am missing, even though she feels me. If you could communicate one thing to her, please tell her that I am not missing. I just don't have a body, but I am not missing from her life, nor can I be missing from anybody's life. I like that. Thank you so much. Thank you for that question. When people come through like that and they state the simple truth that you don't, just because the physical medium of expression stops, just because the physical medium of expression doesn't exist, doesn't mean you cease to exist. And it's a profound thing to understand that the body is just an instrument that you're expressing consciousness through. Like radio signals passing through the air, television signals passing through the air, we don't see them or hear them. But if we have this thing called a radio or a television and we put it down, we turn it in, turn it on, put power to it, suddenly we hear the signal, like it magically appears out of thin air. Your body's just like that radio set that you're able to broadcast on this dimension through the system. Most people, what happens to most people when they leave their body is they think that the body is the only form of consciousness they have a reference point to, so they lose consciousness. They become unaware that they still exist, even though they still exist. They just don't have the localized point of identification. Like in this case, I've got this identification called William, and my awareness has that identification of this consciousness called William, just as you have the conscious identification of Prim or Bo. That identification, if you don't learn how to I want to use the right words. Okay, they're saying when you learn how to distinguish your awareness from your matter, and you recognize that your thoughts and your body are not what define you, but you in fact define them. From that perspective of awareness, when your form ceases to exist, you will not cease to be aware. You will remain conscious. But many of you lose your consciousness when you leave the body, but you are not gone. Wow, please communicate that message to your mother, because your mother also needs to include more people in her life. They're telling me that she needs to find building relationships would be really beneficial for her. She needs to go out to they're saying get her to go out to like girls events, like Girl Scouts, places where she can get connected to other girls that are in your sister's age range at the time your sister passed away. It'll make it easier for your mother to transition away from this false belief that her daughter's gone. She just lost her physical medium of expression. That's all that ever happens to anybody when they leave the body. They lose their physical mechanism for expressing. But you can tune into them. You can tune your awareness into them. And we all know this. Well, most of us know this. But in your fundamental soul, you know this truth. Wow, look at the questions. This is great, guys. I'm so grateful for the support you guys are doing for this program. Is just mind-blowing for me personally. But they're just laughing at me because they've been telling me this for weeks that things were going to start really snowballing really fast. But it's a snowball that we're all putting together. We're building this cosmic snow consciousness, this snowman of cosmic consciousness that allows us to live our existence in this world very differently. So I want to thank everybody for the support. Hi, Gina. Actually, Gina, I Raphael with me for you here, Gina. He's saying you are not wrecking your life. You must learn to distinguish yourself from your thoughts and your body, and not to follow their actions, their desires. You must teach them to sit and stay how you wish them to sit and stay. But you are not wrecking your life, dear one. You are eternal in truth. But your experience in that physical body has been challenging because you did not know that you could actually assert your authority over it, as is the case with many. And Metatron is saying as well, this is why we chose addiction today, for those of you that came to understand that you can be addicted to suffering, the chemicals of suffering, the chemicals of fear, the chemicals of your body can become addicted to suffering, the chemicals that it produces, as it can become addicted to the chemicals of joy. But your body cannot stay in a negative state for an extended period. It can't. It will destroy it. It will harm it. So you must train your body to be that which you wish it to be. Recognize, please, dear one, you are not your body. Your body is an instrument that you have choice over. You must give it the things it needs. If it wants that chemical, if it wants that alcohol, if it wants that drug, give it something else. Teach it to have something else until you, and if it wants to go, you say, no, back over here. But no. And you have to literally train your body. And they're so right. I've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. You literally have to, every time the body says, oh, I want to do this. No. And you literally have to do that. I want that coffee. No. And you literally have, it's like teaching an old dog new tricks. Literally, you got to retrain your body to be different than the way it's been conditioned to be by your environmental programming. And then once you're understanding that concept that you get to be the programmer, you suddenly start to find this feeling inside you called freedom. And it's who you are. You are freedom when you realize the power of your choice to assert your will over any thought, over any emotion, to disconnect from things out there that would draw you into pain and suffering. Turn your freaking TVs off. Get the news out of your head. Go walk down the street with a smile on your face more often. Get things out of your mind. Don't let things come into your mind. Don't let things come into your mind that are going to create fear or guilt or shame or mistrust. Stop it. They tell me this all the time. Stop it, right? Tell people to stop it. So we tell them, stop it. But we can't make you. You have to decide. It's a free will zone. It's a free will zone in this dimension, folks. You get to suffer if you want to suffer. You get to be free if you want to be free. And it doesn't matter what NBL Citrus does. You are the master of that temple. Bogmilla, it is true. I don't drink enough water, maybe too much salt. Thank you for the message. You're so welcome, Bogmilla. Again, thank you for your support. You're welcome, Reflection. Michael's saying, always be aware of what you consume. Great suggestion, Michael. Thank you for that. Wonderful, wonderful suggestion. Lauren, Tina Louise Spalding did a channeling of Jesus with meditation for healing on planet. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Maybe you could post the, anybody who sees that, please do that. Master Jesus does some amazing meditations, as does Metatron and Raphael and the other archangels and beings that we work with. Like, you can learn to connect your guides and angels. You don't have to be hanging out to dry. Go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, and check out our courses and classes. We have students that are online right now. If you want to ask anybody a question about the courses and classes, they're the ones to tell you because they're experiencing it. Right? It's really important. Your body is not who you are. It's just an instrument you have. And there are many beings with us all the time. That's a good suggestion, Michael. Thank you. And thank you for supporting each other, like giving suggestions like that. Those ideas are really invaluable. I can't personally keep up with all the questions because I've got other things that we have unfolding in the pipe. So your support is equally valuable to each other as anything else. So remember that. We are all one. We miss her so much. I understand. Missing. When you miss someone, it means you're also yearning for something. Usually a new relationship. I worked with this wonderful woman who had lost her 15-year-old daughter in an ATV accident. And I was fortunate enough to run into this woman in the middle of the night on the street while I was helping another person who was had to pull out of a bar because of the position they put themselves into. And this woman comes up and she thought I was actually taking advantage of this young woman who I was actually helping. And long story short, she ended up having me come and work with her because she was in a deeply wounded state. And she finally came to the realization, understanding that her daughter was not dead, that she just lost her physical means of expression. Then she began to sense and feel the presence of her daughter with her. And she returned herself back to a state of joy. Now she's living her dreams again. She's realized you don't lose anything from life. That when you're missing something, it's because you need something. You need some more from life. Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you, Tanya. Please tell her. Yes, please. That makes such a difference. Like just because you don't see the radio, hear the radio stations or see the TV station, doesn't mean they don't exist. Just because somebody loses their body doesn't mean the consciousness, that individual awareness, just doesn't have a mechanism. That's just that simple. If it doesn't have a mechanism, you're not going to hear it. But you can tune your awareness to feel or sense it. And you ask your mother, she's felt it around, and you have too. Right? You guys know this. You know it, but you don't believe it. Right? You know it, but you don't believe it. Hi, Kate. Yeah, we've all been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. Oh, thank you, Tanya. I appreciate that. I'm going to take this last question from Katie. If there is any message that could guide me that you can pick up to help me sort of navigate my guides most relevant to my life right now, I am blown away with you, William. Well, that's very kind of you to say, Katie, because we're blown away with all you guys. Like literally, they do not see us as less than. They literally understand that we are at a certain stage of learning. Master Jesus is very strong with you, Katie, very strong with you. And when you allow yourself to just get your mind quiet and just look inside to find, he's saying, look inside to find I don't know why he's saying this, but he's saying, find your memory of love. And in your memory of love, you will remember who I am. So I don't know why he's saying that to you, but he's never said that to anybody else that I can recall. Find that memory of love within you. And in that memory of love, you will know who I am. That's beautiful. Thank you, Master Jesus. I appreciate that. Okay, wow, 10:58. Look at isn't it amazing how time flies by? When you alter your consciousness, you experience more time. You actually get more time in less time. Like this hour's gone by and it's felt like 15 minutes from my personal biological William perspective. It's felt like 15 minutes to me. I'm looking at them going, 11 o'clock. When we first started this almost 3 weeks ago, they said you only have to do 10 to 15 or 20 minutes a day. You won't have to do any more than that. And they laugh because you learn. So you go through and you're in the state, and the state, you get bliss. When you're in a vibration, a higher frequency of consciousness, time changes. You are altering time and your experience of time, right? It's very exciting. Very exciting. Again, I want to, anybody, if you want to support my work, please go to my Patreon page. William Michael Forbes is my Patreon name. And you can offer your support there for a small donation each month. Will support this work and help me keep this type of stuff going and bring these messages to everybody. Also, if you're interested in learning how to become a medium or interested in just learning how to communicate with your guides and angels and hear them and experience them, join our upcoming classes in September 5th to the 25th. We have our Mediumship 101 Beginners course. September 26th to October 16th, we have our 102 Intermediate Level course. And October the 17th to November 6th, we have our Advanced Level Mediumship program, and that all starts September the 5th, and you can go register for the courses and classes on the website. Well, and to all my Patreons that are here, if you didn't receive the notice last night, the Patreons only live event will happen on the 7th day at 7 p.m. every month, and that's what they've told us to do. So I'll look forward to seeing you at that event. And again, much love to everybody. Thank you so much for your time, your energy, your questions. You bring your spirit here, for your curiosity, for your enthusiasm, for your excitement. And I'm going to look forward to seeing all of you again on Monday. Also, remember, we have Supernatural Saturday, which is another 1-hour show that we do on Supernatural Saturday. It's a similar format to this, except we include a meditation on Supernatural Saturday, which is part of the 1 Billion Strong movement, learning how to heal your body, the world around you, and the planet, to rebalance ourselves back to love as a species and as individuals. You did not come to this planet to suffer. You came here to express your unique being here. So much love to everybody. And again, I don't know why I'm getting all this goosebumps. And, is there something there? Okay, I'm going to take one quick. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody. Much, much love. Wow, I'm so happy for you, Katie. That's where energy is coming from. Yes, Master Jesus is saying, you know that now. He said, "Be with me, and there are others that you shall know," and it is true. Once you start feeling them and start knowing them, once you start feeling them and knowing them, it takes you into a realm that's ridiculously wondrous. And again, you did not come here to suffer. You came here to bring your love to this planet. And so did everybody else. It's just that many of us have gotten into the belief that we've forgotten who we are. But you can never not be who you are, but you can forget to remember how to be that. Much love, everybody. Bye for now. And I will see all of you tomorrow on Supernatural Saturday and some of you on Monday, because we're going to continue this apparently. Much love. Bye for now.